Welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast, where two lifelong horror fans talk all things horror. Pour yourself your favorite drink and hang out. Here are your hosts, Josh and Jake.
Hey guys, welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's episode, we are going to be discussing
2013's Evil Dead, directed by Fede Alvarez.
Fetty Wop. I love this remake, reimagining, reboot, whatever you want to call it. It is one of the best Evil Dead films in the entire franchise of the Evil Dead. But before we get super into this episode, what would we like to let anyone new to our podcast know?
As always, like and subscribe on YouTube.
Pretty, please.
You can also find us on Spotify, on Apple,
Yep.
as well as Google.
We're on all this.
We're also on Instagram, J Squared Horror Podcast. Link tree in the bio. New episodes every Thursday.
Every Thursday, two lifelong horror fans decide to get together and talk all things horror. What we would like to do? W's are
I see that.
fucking me up tonight. What would we like to do with this podcast? Fuck it. What we would like to do with this podcast is open up lines of communications about all things horror. We also like to include ourselves in these movies, different scenarios, different situations. We like to talk about different themes. We haven't done a theme in a long time.
We have not.
But basically, this is, in our opinions, one of the most original horror podcasts out there. We kind of do our own thing. We don't just review movies, but we don't just do the same thing every week. It's kind of different. So if you guys like that, stick along, and we'll hopefully give you some enjoyable content. What I'd also like to mention, with the mention of the link tree, is www.paranormalitymagazine.com. If you use code J2Horror at checkout, you can subscribe to one of the coolest paranormal magazines out there. They cover all things strange, unusual, and paranormal. They're an up-and-coming magazine that if you use our code J2Horror at checkout, you get 10% off of your purchase. Also, if you go to their website, you can vote for us to be the #1 podcast in their realm. Right now, we're at 8. We've moved up another spot.
Nice.
So we're slowly inching our way in the right direction. But if you guys vote for us, I know we can get to #1. That would be super cool to show and to have. What I also like to mention is www.jsquaredhorrorpodcast.com. If you go to that website, you can easily communicate with me or Jake or both of us. It is organized. If you're a producer, if you're a director, if you're an actor, if you just have an idea for an episode, go to www.jsquaredhorrorpodcast.com and talk to us there. All right, buddy. Evil Dead 2013. No Ash. No shitty cinematography. This isn't one of those like cult classics.
Yeah.
Like the original 2 or 3 were. How do you feel? How do you feel it in the realm of reboots and remakes? How do you feel it does?
I think very well. I mean, I hadn't watched it maybe since it came out. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and watched it again.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't sure if it would hold up.
Yeah, that's always a question we have. Is it going to stand the test of time? Yeah. All the different movies we watch, all the stuff we consume on a daily basis. How is this going to hold up?
But the good thing is, I kind of vaguely remembered it. I'm not the biggest Evil Dead fan anyway.
Yeah, you're not.
So watching it, I fully enjoyed it, was fully invested. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. Especially
remake, reboot, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. I don't even know what this is technically considered, obviously, but
I think it's
reimagining.
Okay. That's probably good, yeah.
Yeah. What did you say?
It's reimagining, because there are elements of it
There are similarities. There's like almost not quite Easter. I don't technically know what an Easter egg is. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out in the air now. I know what like a literal Easter egg is, but when people are talking about it in the movies, I'm like, yeah, all those Easter eggs I saw.
Yeah, I guess
I didn't see a one.
Little small like.
Can we just clear this up now, since I really want to know what I've been missing out on all this time?
I guess little small callbacks to the original.
Oh, that's all an Easter egg is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not very exciting.
Or like little hints about Yeah, the original.
So
Or
like
things throughout
chainsaws, shotguns, things like that.
Or the car she was sitting on.
Yeah, that is Ash's car,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So would that make it a sequel?
I don't know if it's in the same universe or not. So I did see this picture online earlier that explains the different like directors' timelines. Didn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was going to show you, but I was like, nah, it'll confuse them. How do you feel? So the original has its own little storyline. I felt that it was super cool that they went with why they were at this cabin. It wasn't for fun. It wasn't it wasn't good. So this movie was very dark across the board. So it starts off very similarly to the newer one, which we just watched. But I thought it was super crazy that they basically just drop you right into another person's dealing with the Book of the Dead.
I think it's good because it hooks you immediately.
Yeah, so the cool thing about, at least this one for sure, 2013, is you're not questioning what you're getting into. If there's bloodbath, gore, and demonic and like witchcraft shit, like immediately upon like your 15th piece of popcorn, you're knowing what you're getting into. Which it's crazy to think that like I talked about Scream having the best intro of all time, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it humbles you up to then watch other things again.
Yeah.
Because you now have so much more to compare it against. And I got to say, with the last two installments, I won't talk about the newest one too much, but I think their pre-title card intros are fucking legendary. They're legendary.
Good. They are very
if anybody's online, any type of horror platforms, you're already seeing pictures and like people talking about the new one, but hey, pump the brakes, man, because 2013, go rewatch it.
Yeah.
It comes in heavy. You're right in like the worst possible part of that story.
Yeah.
It's just like, boom, in your face. Like, no, please don't do that to me. Please. I'll fucking kill you. It's just like that.
Like that whole aspect.
Yeah.
Of when they are like talking normal.
Yeah.
Then they start like saying shit. I love that because you really never know when it's coming.
Yeah. They constantly like give you hope that person is still there.
Yeah.
And so that brings me wanting to kind of do our thing here. Put you in the hot seat, bud.
Okay.
So all right, who do you care about most in life? I'm bottom of the list. That's cool.
You're not.
No, I can't. It's kind of hard because, like, you kind of have the knowledge of this going into it, but even then, like, how would you feel? Say, I'm gonna hit home with this one.
Okay.
I'm going with moms.
Yeah. So I already thought about this.
Okay, because you knew I was going to ask you, so you're now preparing for these questions.
It made me think of the episode. It may have been Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. When I said I would save my mom.
And I said I would shoot my mom in the face.
So, sorry, Mom. But if it was this kind of situation.
Like, identical to this kind of situation.
She is gone on sight.
Like, first demonic switch.
We're done.
Yeah?
Immediately.
What if you hadn't seen the Necronomicon yet? And she's just acting kind of crazy. Like, all right, I hate to say this. Okay. What if I cracked open the Necronomicon, right?
Okay.
And I didn't tell you. I kept that shit a secret.
Kind of like he does.
Like the dude with the glasses does in this movie.
Who's my favorite character, by the way?
All right, so we're going to talk about him because I have a lot to talk about this fucking guy. I liked him a lot too, but I like the actor's portrayal of this character a lot. But that's the trickiest part, is because, like, in this movie, what this does very well is she is going through withdrawals of heroin, which is insane. It causes you to be delusional. It causes and everybody knows this. So they're not necessarily believing anything she's saying or falling for it. Now, you put a normal person in this exact same scenario, it's still going to be kind of tricky because, like, oh, what if they got bit by something? Or what if they're having, like, fever dreams or, like, nightmares or anything like that? I think what it depends on a lot is when you find out about the Necronomicon or not. Or that, we could just call it the Book of the Dead. It is tricky because You said on site. Like, mom starts acting crazy. So, zombie mom, you're keeping.
Because
demonic mom is...
Yeah. Yeah. So, zombie mom, I can keep at bay.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
This one will talk.
We'll keep switching.
Say
some vulgar shit.
And it's my mom. So my deepest, darkest secret, she knows.
Oh, she's just going to start blasting you.
Yeah, like, oh, I don't hear that shit again.
Remember when you pissed your bed at 12?
We're done. The second she's pouring scalding hot water on herself, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Fuck the Book of the Dead. I see that, we're done.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, my mom's probably just prepared to know that if anything happens to her, the bitch is dead. I shouldn't have said it that way, but in the demonic way, like, yeah, like she's, because once again, like, it is like the deepest, darkest secrets. Like, I'm trying to think of like what I'm trying to think about is who couldn't I? Like, is there anybody that like, you just see that and you're just like, nah, dude. Like, I'm just gonna hear all this crazy. Just keep them around.
No one I can think of.
No one.
Not a single person.
I mean, there's not, but it's just tricky because like, it's the fucking fact that they can switch it on and off.
Yeah, and you see what they do to other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. I mean,
plus that person isn't really that person anymore.
It's the only part that fucks me up is that they switch back. Like, why does my face hurt? Bitch, you got like 17 nails in it. Yeah. So it's going to hurt. But that's the part that messes with. That's why Zombie Mom was so easy to shoot for me. Because it's like, they're gone. But you're right in the fact that you're saying that they're easily. Oh, yeah. That's how this episode's going to go. They are a lot easier to control and maintain as a zombie versus a deadite. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah. You can't fucking control these things.
No, they are psychotic. But that's how they always get their extra kills, is by acting like they're okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we both mentioned it. Let's talk about old Blondie with glasses. Okay. Do you remember his name? I do not.
I do not either.
All right. So this poor guy, well, first of all, fuck him, because this is all his fault.
100%.
1,000,000,000%. So the interesting thing about this movie is this is the most don't fuck with it moment in like most horror movies. It's like they're like, she's freaking out about the smell in the house, which somehow nobody else smells. Don't know.
Yeah, how's it weird that only she smelled that?
I don't know. Maybe she's like drawn to it. I don't know. Or maybe because she was coming off of the drugs. But
yeah, could be it.
Could be. They then go into the basement of this cabin and find a bunch of cats that are like mangled up and hanging from the ceiling. And then beyond that, also a burnt pillar and a book, what looks like a book wrapped in like garbage bags and barbed wire.
These are all signs to turn back.
And once you rip that bag open, I think the first page says, do not read anything in this book.
Yeah, why are you reading that loud anyway?
And also, like, what's his background? How does he know Latin or whatever it is so easily?
He's a teacher.
Of Latin?
Of history, maybe?
Yeah, but still, like, he was reading that shit like it was English.
He's well-versed.
So, what happens, I mean, if you don't know the Evil Dead universe, go do some research. Go watch these movies. Doesn't take a lot to figure it out. You read some shit, some crazy shit happens. Now, they did the tree thing again.
They did.
Not a fan of the way they go about that, but at least in this one, they do show in the Necronomicon that is actually a thing.
Yeah.
It's not just a common theme that these directors just keep rolling with. Which, I mean, obviously they created the book or something. I don't know. Is the Book of the Dead real?
I don't know.
Is the Necronomicon real? If anybody knows if this is based off of like an actual like book thing, let us know. That'd be cool.
I want to say yes. Like the idea.
The idea is something that has existed at some point.
It's not new to the Evil Dead.
Yeah. So the crazy thing about the blonde guy with the glasses is he creates all of this. keeps his mouth shut a little too long, in my opinion. Like, if doors start opening and people start screaming at some, like, crazy level, and then, like he said, like, she burns herself, and there's plenty of other stuff that happens before he mentions the fact that it's like, yeah, this is probably my fault. That pisses me off. But also, he's like a hero and the worst possible. Like, he goes through the craziest of character arcs, I think, of any person in any horror movie in the existence of history.
Also, I am very surprised he lived as long as he
Dude, the
did.
man gets put through the ringer.
Which he deserves anyway.
He deserved it, but he gets stabbed pretty bad in the chest out the gate when his girlfriend... Are they a thing? I don't know. One of the other friends is carving her face open with a piece of mirror glass. And he got pretty good. And he also gets a needle right underneath his eyeball.
Yeah, because she's through his glasses.
Yeah, through his glasses. Which you glasses folks are lucky, you know, because I would have been screwed. My eyeball would have been gone. But the cool thing is somehow I think it was the actor, but throughout the rest of the movie, the eyes were like messed up. Yeah, but like he was doing it. And I thought that was really cool. Like, he sold it very well. Like, he didn't. It wasn't one of those times like if somebody cuts their hand and then their hand's just like miraculously better, or they get hit in the leg and they're not limping anymore.
Yeah.
The one thing that the Evil Dead movies, I think, at least this one, when they get injured, that's with them for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
It's not something they just shoot past. You'll either see a bandage, you'll see a limp, they'll mention it, or like him, his eyes in certain scenes, like he's blinking weird. And like maybe just because the contact was uncomfortable, it could have been something that simple. But it was very well sold across to the person watching the film.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know, you get into his whole thing is he does get absolutely fucked up the most. So he gets through that, and then he gets he gets nailed gunned a bunch.
Yeah. He got stabbed in the stomach one time.
He got stabbed in the stomach. He got stabbed in the chest. He got stabbed right underneath the eyeball. He got nail gunned a bunch. He got bashed in the head with a tire iron.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I mean, there were holes in his head.
His hand split.
Oh, his hand was split. That's right. He sticks his hand out like, no. And she hits it perfectly to where it splits down the middle. Looks amazing. Looks amazingly painful. Like, I would just give up on life probably after I got stabbed in the chest, honestly.
So my favorite part was within that was when he has the nail gun and he's on the floor and she's coming toward him. He's like, stop.
Yeah, just fucking stop.
Just leave me alone.
Like, can't you see I'm messed up enough?
We're all over this now.
Dude, the thing is like, when he took those blows to the head from the tire iron, like, if you look later on in the movie when he's still alive, there are gaping holes in the top of his skull. So not only does the Evil Dead do it really good to where the people portraying injured do well, but the makeup department comes in heavy. And if you pause, everything that you were worried about or that you were questioning as far as an injury is going to be in it.
Yeah.
Which is super, super cool, because sometimes, depending on the movie, like, some things are just, like, overlooked.
Yeah.
Some of that movie magic, you know?
Yeah. And I did like that right before he dies, you can tell he's about to die.
Dude,
I'm done.
I'm done.
Which I thought that was good. I mean,
it's all his fault, so I like that he suffered the absolute most physically.
He 100% did.
I think that's deserving. I think if you're the fucker that opens up the Necronomicon, you deserve the worst of the worst.
I don't know why people enjoy reading that thing so much.
I wouldn't. Like, even, like, so we bought our bartender, one of our fans, Courtney, for Christmas, I do believe.
Yeah.
Like a fake one, right? I'm not, I'm good. I was ready to have that thing out the house.
Yeah, or I'll just read it to myself.
No. What?
No,
you psycho.
Saying, if you're going to read it.
Because somehow I'm going to be associated with you and I'm going to be having to deal with it.
Don't read it out loud.
Yeah. I mean.
Read in your head.
Yeah. I still think if you just open it and read it in some capacity, it's going to get people.
Probably.
Because even if it just gets you, eventually you're going to get somebody else, and that's how it continually spreads. It's like the herpes of horror.
Does it spread by you just...
It spreads like it spreads like an infection. The girl got puked on. The one girl got bit. But I was wondering, like, if you just get injured by it, but that's not the case because when the brother character gets his arm sliced a couple of times by a box opener, he's cool.
Yeah, but when dude dies, he comes back
because he got killed, and maybe the water had some of her blood in it.
It's pretty much if you get in contact with it, besides the brother,
which it was just a couple slices.
Yeah,
I don't think there was any like juice sharing.
Yeah, well, she just threw up on the one chick.
I mean, not just like threw up. I mean, she
unloaded her entire body on
and the gross thing is there were like chunks in her hair. I was like, dude, ew. Like, I would love, if I do a movie, I'm hiring whoever does any of the evil, even the first one, I don't care. Any of the Evil Dead's makeups. Because you can make it work into something. It's super cool.
Yeah.
I have come to this realization watching these movies here recently. That I will tell you guys next week. Because you have to wait. So the girl that, what was the craziest kill? Or most intense injury? Whichever one you want. The craziest kill or most intense injury?
To me,
I'm
was
fine with that.
The girl cutting her arm off.
With the meat cutter?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that thing called?
Meat saw? I don't know.
You're so confident.
Yeah.
Meat saw.
Meat saw.
That one, huh?
Yeah. Because I liked, can't remember the girl's name. What was Redhead's name?
Dude, this one, the names.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right past my head this time.
Her, when she was under the floor and she's watching her,
yeah,
and her just yelling at her like, "Don't cut your arm off, bitch."
Yeah. Don't do it. Don't cut your arm off, bitch. Yeah. And that's the one thing that all Evil Dead movies do is that voice.
Yeah.
Very well. And you can do the makeup, you can do the contacts, you can do all that stuff. But there's nothing quite as terrifying as like the first time you watch the original, same concept, girl in the basement, peeking her creepy ass eyes out and talking like that. Yeah. Like that shit lingers around.
It does, yeah.
Like when we talked about Paranormal Activity and when she like screamed and I got goosebumps on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like there are certain things that just linger in your brain as like, this is fucking weird and creepy. And I love that even though they're not associated other than by title, that they stick to some of that stuff. And I think it's really cool. And I think it means a lot to the franchise and to a lot of horror fans that can enjoy. I mean, we're getting new content, which is great. So we can compare it to that. But 2013's Evil Dead it's a standalone, really, really, really amazing movie.
Yeah, it's hard. You mentioned it earlier. It's hard to find a good like remake or reboot.
I can't really think of one.
Of an already popular franchise.
I can't think of one.
And to wait so long to do it again, it's very hard to do.
It seems like it would be damn near impossible.
Yeah.
But what they did so well with this is to give it such simple modifications that make sense, but also like character switches and like obviously storyline switches. So like you stick to the original formula, but you're changing some of the, I don't know, letters and numbers. I don't know. I'm not a math expert. I was sounding really good right up until my brain kicked on again.
Yeah, I was wondering where that was going.
I was going to say until you use different equations. Like
Okay.
Stick to the formula until you use different equations. But that doesn't sound right.
Isn't that the same thing?
I think it is.
Okay.
I think I'm literally just spiraling now. But I
got it. You stick to the same recipe with different ingredients. Was that any better?
I don't know.
I feel like
Let the fans decide who's fucked up.
in
analogy.
my head, it sounded good.
That's how it felt for me, but my brain caught it before my mouth sent it.
Yeah, my mouth. I'm like, that's fucking dumb too.
Just remember to use the same recipe but different ingredients.
So make something else.
How dumb are we as a unit, dude?
Yes, now so just make something
Just
totally
remember.
different.
Just remember. Just remember. You don't always have to put gasoline in the car, but if you use oil, it won't go anywhere. Just Josh and Jacobs.
Oh boy.
Did you feel for any characters in this one? Did you relate to anybody in this one?
Probably the guy with glasses.
Because you're with glasses and you would read the Necronomicon?
I would not read it, first and foremost. But I think like you mentioned earlier, his character.
He has a full arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
really does.
It's really good because he gets there with bad blood with the brother.
Yeah, he doesn't like the brother, which ends up at the very end. We'll get to that. But the amount of arcing this fucking character did was insane. He's not even probably supposed to be that main of a character.
Probably not.
And he ends up being like so many crucial parts of this entire movie.
I mean, honestly, besides the main,
it's the brother, the sister, and him.
Well, I feel like the second most important character is him. It's the sister, then him, and then the brother.
Sister, him, brother. Yeah. I would agree. I actually would. I thought that one of the better looking ones was the face with the glass.
Yeah.
I thought it looked I mean, we didn't see it happening. You just see it when she comes in or when he comes in the bathroom. But there's really no corniness in this movie, which is kind of crazy because if you watch the first couple, they're like stupid corny. Now, obviously that's one of the time things.
Like, it's a different
with time, things get cornier. So it is cool that this was 2013, so 10 years ago. That's crazy to think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, when he tripped in the bathroom and landed on that toilet,
dude, I thought he was like paralyzed.
I did too. The way he was moving was like
he was hurt.
He will never walk again.
Yeah, he was hurt, and it's probably one of those like hit it just rights.
Yeah,
where it just sends that tingle.
Yeah,
all the way. You probably think you're paralyzed in that moment. That's what's so cool about these movies is like everything that happens, they sell it so well.
Yeah,
and there's like, you don't really care for like two of them. I mean, I say 3. I don't care about the brother, the brother's girlfriend, or that other girl, like, at all, honestly.
Yeah, they were pointless characters.
I mean, the brother had to go through what he went through because he was the brother, but the other two, like, the brother's girlfriend, like, I actually feel probably the worst for her because, like you said, she cuts her arm off, and then she still gets got, which, how, I thought that, like,
and all she did was walk outside to give her tweezers. Then she came back in. She's like, "What the fuck happened?"
Well, no, she went down into the she went down into the basement.
Yeah,
dude.
but if she had never gone outside in the first place,
I take it back though.
She deserved more aware. It. Yeah, well, she didn't know. She heard the voice, and
doesn't she get puked on too, or some kind of something?
I think she does when
they're on the stairs
after.
Oh, she's like making out with her.
Yeah, after she splits her tongue. Yeah.
Oh, that was intense.
That
was intense, and I was gonna use that as the poster for what we post.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it'll get flagged or not, but we'll find out. Because that's intense. Like, that part was cool. Then it's just like the proper amount of spooky, man. I enjoyed the 2013 one.
Yeah, I did too.
Now, they go through, I think the brother and the blonde go through the book, and they start realizing how they're going to have to officially kill all of them. Correct?
Yeah.
Because the book tells you all you need to know. It's just a matter of can you do it. That's the hardest part is because it's like dismemberment, burning, burying alive.
Yeah.
Those are pretty shitty options if you have to do to somebody you once cared about.
Compared to what you're going through at the moment, I feel like you can do it.
Okay, so what would you choose if you had to go ahead and 86 on my Dukes? Oof. Damn, that got dark quick.
That did.
Fuck it. That's why
I'd probably go with the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hearing them scream in agony.
It's not who they used to be.
That's true.
Yeah. I was just set of the blaze and I'm gone.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just walking down the street,
I think you have to watch it though.
I don't have to watch anything. Those aren't rules I don't have to watch.
There's probably fine print in the Necronomicon, bud.
There are probably tons of it.
Yeah, like you have to get them to a certain temperature or something. You got to rotate every 30 minutes.
Got to be a certain time of the
day. Oof. Are you gonna ask me the same?
Because I don't think I could dismember. That's a bit much. Couldn't do that. Could you? I mean, your face says you could.
Well, the audio listeners don't know that.
Well, his face said he could.
It's interesting, all right? Because
You know how long that will take?
not long if you use the right tool, especially if you have a chainsaw nearby.
You got the little meat saw.
No, that thing doesn't work very well.
It worked for her.
I don't know how. I mean, it did.
Yeah, her arm like slid right off.
Well, not right off. She stood there for a little bit, and then it like fucking falls. But I don't know. I mean, it would be tough, but I feel like the burning one would be the easiest.
Yeah, it's quick and easy.
But the dismemberment one, you really know it's done. Like, what if it started raining and it put the fire out? Now you got Anakin Skywalker running at you before he was Darth Vader.
You set the fire inside.
Oh yeah, like the basement.
Yeah, so you're good to go. Just remember, you gotta get pretty close.
Not too close. Also, I would do what he did. I'd put the bag over their head for sure. Then you don't know who it is.
Yeah, but they still like talk.
No, head's coming off first, and it's getting tied up tight and getting yeeted into the woods because I couldn't handle hearing my mom being like, "Why are you doing this to me?" Like, remember when you didn't get me McDonald's that one time? Yeah! I always wanted that, G.I. Joe.
Yeah, that would be pretty intense asking, why are you doing this to me? Well, you know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're on the same page here.
Yeah. Let me get on my journal. Let me get on my diary.
Read this.
Here's why.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. My bad, but you had to go. I feel like as moms of the J Squared Horror Podcast, they now know that they just kind of have to hear about their demises because it's a common occurrence.
I mean, just don't get in these kind of situations where your zombies are possessed. You're good.
That's true, but if you do, J Squared Horror guys don't care.
We got a way out for you.
We do. You're not going to suffer. And that's the other thing is the person is suffering inside of there. Or they're already dead. What is there, a fucking bird factory going on outside?
I try to ignore it.
Dude, it's so loud. Sorry.
It's crazy because I can't tell if they're... Because my thought was they're already dead.
Yeah.
They're dead. So how he can save her and all of a sudden she looks fine.
Yeah, so let's get to that. Let's get to the end.
Yeah.
We've covered pretty much everything else, and we're not going scene by scene anyways. But he found a loophole by using his own brain, is all he did. Because you have to bury them alive.
Yeah.
Which is the demon. Not necessarily your person, but they're going to act like your person, right?
Yeah.
That's why he hooked up the epinephrine and like battery pack or whatever that was. So he did what they said he needed to do, which is bury her alive until she dies.
Okay.
So that demon got what it needed, a death of itself, I guess. I don't know the fine print.
Yeah.
I think it then releases the demon, so to speak.
It just goes out.
And it does the fast zoom thing, which is one of my favorite Evil Dead things.
Yeah, I love the fast zoom thing.
I love the fast zoom thing through like every single Evil Dead thing ever.
I never know, how does it pick who it's going to, though?
It's the closest person.
Whoever's just
I
out.
swear it's the closest person. Because she was in the woods because she crashed her car. The girl in the first one was out wandering. Other things happen in other movies that we now know. Because we can confirm it next week.
Imagine
talk about.
Imagine it's just going out and doing this thing. You just come outside to get your mail.
That's what I'm saying.
And you're the closest person that hits you.
Like, oh, what did I forget? My car? Damn it. Only I would have remembered my AirPods. Can you imagine getting possessed over some AirPods?
That's pretty shitty.
Oh, man. All right. So, yeah, I think that's why that happened. But then she comes back. Also, why wasn't her face burnt anymore?
She was reborn.
Yeah, but you still had the injuries that happened to your body.
So now, did she have them, or did the demon version of her have them?
I don't know how that worked.
Is this it's still her body either way, so it should.
Wait. So does that mean we could both save our moms, but we both went other options?
Damn, it does, yeah.
We both watched this entire movie.
Knew how to figure it out.
That we could technically save whomever we choose. And yet we still went with the ultimate finality of death.
Yeah, I said after the first one, I'm just going to take her out. So,
But then we wouldn't have found out about all the extra jazz. So, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of the book.
Because they shoot home one girl in the face point blank and she's out the picture. The one that they burnt, the girl in the bathroom. Or something happens to her and she's out the picture. Oh, he bashes her head in with the freaking piece of the commode.
Yeah. There's a lot of rules to this.
There are.
It's kind of like zombies.
No, zombies easy. Bash the brain in, they're dead.
Well, for some.
Minus return.
Yeah, so there's...
Yeah, you're right. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, in this franchise, if you will, it's, they make their own rules.
Literally.
Did you like how the brother went? Were you surprised? Were you shocked? I thought the movie was over, and I've already seen this movie. I was like, when does that guy have another part that I absolutely hate? Bing, bing, bing. Talk about character arc, and the one character that probably isn't supposed to be talked about this much.
I was just, I was bored with the brother.
I was too.
He was super fucking boring.
But,
his entire character, his dialogue was boring.
He was a bad actor, too. No offense to the poor guy.
I mean, that could be it, too.
I think it was the acting. I think everybody else did a way better job than he did, which kind of sucks because, I don't think his character was as bad as the acting was. So it just completely outshines any type of, saving grace if that actor isn't portraying it well.
That character had wet napkin personality.
It's the dude. You just love my sayings.
I do.
Yeah,
it was.
He had the personality of a wet napkin, and he had the facial expressions of a wet napkin too, dude. It was just like, oh my gosh. So the brother gets got in the neck by something.
By the friend.
Yeah, but I don't know what he stabbed him with.
Who knows?
And then he sacrifices himself for the little sister. All for what? For the greatest Evil Dead showdown ever. In the blood rain of Evil Deadville. Mia.
That's her name.
That's her name. We got one name.
Yeah.
They only say it 783 times in the movie. Mia. Yeah. By the end of the episode, me and Jake finally get it.
Mia, there it is.
So Mia and I think the ultimate demon devil guy go, but it also is a girl at some points. It's whatever you want it to be, I think. Was it her?
Yeah, it was her.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just looked like a dude, like a really skinny dude crawling around.
I feel like every version that she saw, it was just her.
Yeah, but every version that we saw looked like a brown-haired guy crawling around that was super skinny.
I thought it was her.
No, dude. That thing walks out the house or comes out of the ground. It looks like a dude.
I still thought it was her.
It's a fucking demon. But yeah, they have I think it's one of the coolest showdowns in Evil Dead history.
Also, how strong are these fucking things?
They are strong. Well, they're it's kind of like adrenaline. You know how like people can like lift cars and shit to get their kids out with adrenaline?
A demon just pushed a Jeep over?
Yeah, I can believe that 100%.
With one hand?
Yeah. He's a demon, dude. They're strong. I mean, if you like look into them.
Well, this strength should have been showed more so throughout the movie.
Technically speaking, it is because they're very resilient. They can handle a lot of injuries and not die. So I kind of feel like that correlates with like super strength. I don't know why that makes sense in my head.
Okay, yeah.
I just let it go. That's like the most minor detail I don't give a shit about. Like the fact that he flipped over a Jeep, but it then landed on her arm perfectly. And I was like, oh, this is what I needed. I just loved that last scene. I mean, dude, even like when she's in the shed, behind the shelf, and like the machete is like cutting her leg, and then it comes across slowly. Like everything they do in this movie is so good.
It is good.
It's like slow, and I was like, it felt like I was getting cut. Like when I was watching it, I was like, ooh, you know, it's like it makes you uncomfy in the best possible way.
I agree.
And then, you know, the car flips. She rips her hand out, gets the chainsaw down the head thing.
Do you think you could do that?
Pull a car off of myself?
If you were stuck, do you think you could pull your arm free?
Do you remember when I told you guys that story about when I shut my finger in a car door and I was in the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, that tells me all I need to know about my
this here is a life and death situation.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how destroyed it was, it looked pretty mangled. So you're pretty much just pulling the skin at that part.
Yeah. No, the muscles.
But I think that I would have gotten the angle a lot quicker than she did because, like, that makes sense to me. Like,
what do you mean?
To push my legs up against the top of the Jeep.
Oh, just
and then
yank.
completely, like,
Yeah.
jump myself off.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there just doing, like, a pull. Like, I know that's not the answer. If I'm trying to get out of there, I'm doing the twirl, twist, and go.
Pull it right off.
Yeah. Also, you know, like what was that 127 hours movie? Like, you know that
Yeah.
You know, we got a little more arm chopping survival at our discretion these days,
True.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, just I don't know what Evil Dead's obsession with mangled arms is, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It's like the dude Flanagan's hand thing.
Oh yeah.
He loves hand injuries.
He does love them.
But she gets the dub. She gets the ultimate win.
She does.
Everybody else died. Do you think she stayed off of drugs? Or do you think she went right back to them?
I would hope she stayed off of them. But based on that experience,
right back down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I mean, she's jumping down the well head first to go get that. That's how she dies.
Yeah.
She needed a hit that bad that she dives in and that's it. All right. Is there any other parts you wanted to talk about? Any other characters you liked or anything?
No.
All right, Jake. On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate 2013's Evil Dead?
On a scale from 1 to 10, I would rate it a 8.
Nice, man. That's pretty high for you.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going 8.8. An 8.8.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty high too, though.
That's very high. I if you guys, you know, we always say it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. You're way in now, but
it's on Pluto.
Or
TV.
rent it for $4, like a real person, not Pluto. Yeah, tell them what they also get with Pluto.
You get 25 Scream 6 commercials to let you know it's streaming
It's coming
on
to
Paramount.
a different streaming platform.
Yeah,
That
not
doesn't make any
even
sense.
fucking on Pluto.
That's the part
Something
that's...
totally different. 25 times.
Oh, man.
It's crazy that right after it ends, like that final scene we were talking about,
Yeah.
it shows another commercial for it, and then comes back and gives you the credits.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. I'd be pissed if I had done this movie and they did me dirty like that.
Goddamn Pluto TV. But
That's
it's free,
why you
though.
shouldn't
So.
use Pluto. All right. Well, I think you could kind of gather throughout this episode what we're going to be talking about next week, but I'll go ahead and tell you. Next week, we are covering Evil Dead Rise, which is the newest entry into the Evil Dead franchise. Now, I know typically we're Tuesday after or Thursday after the movie came out. But Jake texted me and I decided, hey man, let's cover this 2013 one first. Give these fans a chance to go see the Evil Dead Rise in theater. I'm telling you right now, with some of the movies that we have seen in theater in our history of being homies, friends, podcasters, this is, other than the AC being broken, this was one of the most enjoyable theater movie experiences I've had in a long time.
I agree.
So if you guys haven't gone to see Evil Dead Rise yet, go see it. Just know if you're local, you go to AMC Lynn Haven Dolby. It's going to be hot. Like real hot. Like I left with back sweat and it was nighttime.
It was very hot.
But it was cool. A lot of fun people in the crowd. You know, there's a time and a place for little, jokes and cracks, and I think that everybody was handling it pretty well. Dude, man, next to me told me to shut the fuck up, but other than that, like, I was chilling. First time in the history of being in a movie that's ever happened to me.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I was like, dude.
Wait, the guy next to you
The
said
guy
that?
next to me told me to shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I knew you didn't hear it because you kept talking. I'm like, damn, Jake's about to get me into it. It wasn't even me. It was him.
Well, yeah.
He said, well, and I quote, he said, can y'all please keep it down? And I looked at him and I said, I guess. But, I mean, if we weren't being rude, the guys next to Jake were freaking awesome.
Yeah.
They were hilarious. There was a lady way down there that was just killing it. She was amazing. But, yeah, it is a lot of fun, man. The movie's really good. Guys, go see it. Go support horror. If you guys keep going to see these movies, we keep having stuff to cover, and they're going to keep pumping out great movies. I mean, I think just when we were talking about like Smile and stuff, like we were excited about upcoming horror, and it is here. It is happening.
It is here.
And it is fucking amazing. Not all of them. Evil Dead Rise is definitely a good one.
Yeah.
Go see it. I want to thank everybody for being a part of the podcast. I want to thank our day one supporters, Jeff Balance, who does our design work, Lucky Riggs, who does our intro and our outro music, Trademark Printing, who does our printing. They knocked out an amazing banner for our convention coming up here in September, which is sneaking up on us. We appreciate all the support from you guys very much. Thank you to all the fans that tune in every week. Leave comments, like, share. We're like 3 subscriptions away from like 150 on YouTube, and that's a pretty big feat for us. So if you guys know some people, you think anybody that's going to enjoy it, go subscribe. If you're 150th and you can prove it, send us a screenshot. We'll send you some swag. Jake, if they comment what this week?
I got nothing.
All right. If you comment Necronomicon in the comments.
And spell it correctly.
And spell it. This one's spell checked. So that's the only way you'll get free swag. But no, seriously, guys, we love all the support you guys give us every week. So yeah, this is the J Squared Horror Podcast. My name's Josh.
And I'm Jake.
You guys have a great week. And remember, it's hip to be squared.